Herrera. Assistants are Democratis Pashilidis and Chris Trottier. Fourth is Lauren Dearman. Pittsburgh in the all blue with the black striped jerseys will have the kickoff. They'll be attacking the goal to our right. Rochester with the white tops and the green shorts with white socks will be defending the initial kickoff as we are underway at Salem Stadium, second meeting of the season between the Rhinos and the Riverhounds. Here's Rolfe, gets it back to Walls. Good quick touch forward, and Brown quickly comes up to make this save, the 22-year-old, his third appearance of the season. Played for the Virginia Cavaliers. They won the NCAA Division I title in 2014 as he boots a low, hard one downfield. Russell knocked off the ball. Now on the near side, Obasi, little chip forward. Voleski over the head of Mendoza, picked up there by Okioma. Earls, the captain, slots one forward, but Obasi breaks it up and gets it to Garzi. McMahon on the far side. There's Earls playing in the middle of the field tonight for Pittsburgh. Did so many great things on the left side when he was with the Rochester Rhinos. Now Earls at 26 years old, camping out in the middle, directing traffic for Mark Steffen's Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Here's McMahon, the wind again picking up, blowing from right to left. So Pittsburgh in this moment going into a very stiff wind, but again, it's been shifting all night long. We'll see how long that stays as it's served into the box. Top of the 18, Vincent stumbles on it, and Mendoza comes away with it for Rochester. Voleski. Puddles really forming on the near side, and Rolfe in behind the defense, takes a touch into the 18. Rolfe still with it. For Mendoza, top of the box, shot swerving wide. As an early opportunity for the Rhinos in the third minute. As it was Rolfe getting in behind the defense, slowed it up and laid it off for Mendoza. The Rhinos coming off a 1-1 draw with Harrisburg last Friday. Voleski in the 87th minute got the equalizer after Harrisburg scored in minute number 43. And for Voleski, that was his fifth goal of the year and first goal against a team other than FC Montreal. As Rolfe has his pass intercepted. It's Kerr. Now outside, Okai. His pass deflected to Flunder. Pressured there by Forbes as the rain now switching again. Coming in across the field, straight at our broadcast setup here. As it's been swirling and shifting all afternoon long. Now it's a crosswind. Flicked up in the air by McMahon, and a little nudge in the back called against Pittsburgh. And it'll be a free kick coming up here for Van de Castile. So the battle against Pennsylvania continues. The Rhinos in the U.S. Open Cup fell in PKs to the Philadelphia Union. They played Harrisburg last week to a 1-1 draw, and Pittsburgh comes in tonight. There's Forbes on the far side. McMahon brings it down, chips it into the box. Rolfe, good touch, McMahon. One-time shot deflected, and it'll be a corner kick on the far side. Good little build-up there as McMahon and Rolfe look to connect on a neat bit of passing there. It'll be Canardo Forbes over to take the corner kick, first one of the game. Forbes, the 27-year-old with 1 goal and 2 assists on the season. The Steel Army, 50 strong, making the trip. As this is served into the box, Brown punches it up, takes no chances. Earls heads it away, and it'll be right in front of the Steel Army. 50 of them on the bus this afternoon to Rochester, and coming in, marching, waving flags, banging the drum. And good support for the Riverhounds, who picked up their first shutout in their last game as Mendoza. Good ball at the 6. Walls, Forbes, shot, deflected wide. Another corner kick coming up for the Rhinos, this time on the near side. That last game we talked about, Pittsburgh's first shot of the season, was a 1-0 win against Montreal. Kerr with a game-winning goal in the 79th minute. Here's Mendoza. Drives one. Off the foot of Volesky, and no, they'll call off the foot of a Pittsburgh defender. It'll be a throw-in on the near side for the Rhinos. Obasi jogs over to take it. To Mendoza. Tries to turn the corner. He's going to run out of space as puddles continue to form here. Rhinos looking to go to that special place. 13 games unbeaten in USL play. Looking to get to 14. And it would be ironic that it happens tonight on Legends Night, as Meli Walton, Darren Tilley, and Chris Economides will be inducted into the Rhinos Hall of Fame at halftime. This one way out of play by Okai. Throwing for Obasi. We're in the 7th minute. Pittsburgh and Rochester are scoreless. Still a very steady rain. Puddles, as you can see on your screen, continue to form on the flanks. Jaime Herrera, the man in the middle, will, I'm sure, have him keeping a close eye on the safety of these playing conditions. Broken up by the Riverhound, sent forward. That's up and over that of Russell, and Van de Castile will take no chances and knock it out of play. Throwing coming up here. It'll be William Hunt to take it, and he's going to take a few more steps up. Hunt, the 27-year-old, played with Tampa last season in the NASL. Throws it in, finds Okai. Now the wind again shifting, as it's been moving back and forth all evening long. This ball under the near flank. Hunt, one-time swerving cross. Almost got through to the far side. Forbes will break it up. You can hear the wind just whistling through our headsets here. This one may stay in play on that far side. No, it'll be coming out, throwing for the Rhinos. It'll be McMahon to take it. Gets it back. Van de Castile, good strong challenge. But the Riverhounds send it back down into the Rhinos half. Miller, 0.35 goals against average. That's #1 in the USL. And that stingy Rhinos defense has been outstanding this season. As Brown will take his time. And as the field starts to fill with water, I'm sure long ball will be the destination for both of these sides, as trying to play it on the ground may get stuck in a very awkward position. Deflected off the foot of Mendoza. And have you visited the new USLsoccer.com? Get the latest news and live stats, and check out the new social media hub, USLsoccer.com. Here's Hunt, driven down the near flank, and it will roll out of play. And the Rhinos will pick up a throw in deep in their own half. We're in the 9th minute. Rochester and Pittsburgh. April 4th in Pittsburgh, a 2-1 win for the Rhinos, as Dixon got the game-winning goal. As Okai heads it down, picked up by Apostolopoulos. Long ball forward for Rolfe. Rolfe sprinting hard, working hard, good challenge coming back by Okioma. And he wins it back for Pittsburgh. It'll be coming out the other way in the 10th minute. Pittsburgh's other goalkeeper, Ryan Thompson, is back in town, the Jamaican international, but he didn't make the trip. Mark Steffens opting to give him a rest and kind of get himself composed and back together. He was on the bench for Jamaica's run at the Copa America in Chile. Didn't get any time, but still an honor for Ryan Thompson. As the Riverhounds coming forward on the far side, Flunder the Riverhounds veteran. Out to Vincent. 9 goals on the season for Rob Vincent. This one's knocked out of play. McMahon can't believe it, and the Rhinos not happy with this call. It'll be on the far side. Michael Green jogs over to take it. Green's been with Pittsburgh since 2012. And you can see the heavy downpour just continues. Headed away by Van de Castile. Voleski. Flunder steps in front of Rolf. Can't keep that one in play, and it'll be a throw-in coming up here for the it'll be McMahon over to take it. Flicked on the far side. Forbes keeps it in. One touch forward for Voleski. Look at those long strides. Able to explode into space as Voleski gets beat to the ball by Brown. He'll put it down on the turf. We're in the 12th minute. Rain picking up once again. Riverhounds outside to Flunder. Vincent quickly inside looking for Russell. Broken up nicely by the captain, Tony Walls. Here's Van de Castile. Mendoza. Sends a long one down the far side looking for Forbes, and the wind will carry that one well out of play. And a throw-in coming up here for the Riverhounds. Become a fan of the USL on Facebook for exclusive league news and interactive content. That's the USL on Facebook. We're in the 12th minute, scoreless, Rochester and Pittsburgh. As Miller as his clearance headed away by Earls. Center circle, it's Mendoza. It's stuck in the puddle. And Obasi steps in hard to knock it away from Kevin Kerr. Quick throw-in. Looking for Russell. Just outside the 18, Russell. Obasi nudges into him, comes away with the ball. Good defending by Ottawa. Long ball picked up middle of the field. Anthony Arena selected to the USL Team of the Week after that shutout win against Montreal last week in Pittsburgh. At the beautiful Highmark Stadium. If you think about this club, they've come a long way from the days I was calling games at Bethel Park High School. Highmark Stadium, beautiful view of the city, wonderful facility. Just hosted their first MLS franchise, by the way, in that U.S. Open Cup game against DC United. They lost 3-1 in extra time. 2 goals on corner kicks by DC United. Rob Vincent got the only goal for Pittsburgh in that game. He continued his fine form as he scored a goal in every U.S. Open Cup game this season for the Riverhounds. As Obasi breaks this one up, and with DC United coming back to Pittsburgh, it was also a bit of a homecoming. General manager and former Hounds executive Dave Casper returned to a very familiar place, and his team came away with the 3-1 victory. Flunder headed away by McMahon. The Riverhounds gained about 10 yards towards midfield. Here's Vincent, the Englishman. One-time forward. A little foot race there, and it will make it back to Miller. He'll pop a high one up in the air on the far side. Ball stays in play. Here's Voleski. McMahon looking for Rolf, but stepping in front is Fajiro Okioma. Riverhounds in the all blue. Kerr. Russell. Now outside to Vincent. We'll see if he can cut inside. As he does, gets around Forbes, looks for an option. Into the box, headed away nicely by Obasi. Mendoza will clear it, taking no chances. Skips off a puddle. And this one will stay in play. Apostolopoulos off the chest nicely to Obasi. His pass intercepted. Hunt. It'll chip forward, and it's going to be a matter of who can get in behind the defense with these awful conditions tonight in Rochester. Long ball into space. Player streaking forward, or maybe the ball dying in a very unfortunate spot, as it almost did there, leading to our opening goal of the evening. Ball's going back and forth, trying to avoid these puddles that have started to accumulate here in the middle of the field. We're in the 16th minute, and scoreless. Hunt off the foot of Russell, and over the near sideline. It'll be throwing coming up here for the Riverhounds. Hunt on the near side, looking for Kerr. Gets it back to Hunt. His cross is deflected. Obasi threads the needle. Nope, they'll say it came out of play and then back into play, so it's a throw-in coming up here for the Riverhounds. These two teams will be at it once again on September 16th in Pittsburgh. Second to last game of the season. As referee is going to come over and have a word with his Jaime Herrera is the man in the middle, and assistant referee number 1 is Democratis Pacholidis, who's coming over, and they'll push Hunt back a few yards. So he'll throw it in. Obasi, a good step there to knock it out of play. And a throw-in coming up here for the home side. Rolfe brings it down, shields off Hunt. Mendoza sends a good ball forward. He'll run out of play, though. Looking for Voleski.
Time Warner Cable Business Class offers a full complement of business communication tools, including internet voice.
Hunt will have a throw-in.
Networking cloud services. For more info, visit us.
Right at midfield on the near side. Slips out of his hands. Obasi off the side of his foot. Again, very difficult situation tonight with all the rain that's been coming down and still coming down. Rolfe for Forbes, cuts it inside. Forbes into the 18. On his right, the shot. Oh, Voleski came in and pumped it up and over the bar. In the 18th minute, the Rhinos with a great opportunity. We talked about getting in behind the defense, and that was a good look at goal, the first good look at goal here in the 18th minute. Voleski not too far off the mark. Here's Brown's delivery up to midfield. Stiff wind in his face, gets it up the midfield stripe. A little shove from behind as Mendoza goes down to the turf after the challenge from Hunt. Obasi will have the restart. Looking for some options. He'll send this one down the near sideline. Tony Walls. Knocked away. Pittsburgh comes away with it. Earls. Hunt. Apostolopoulos. That was off of Pittsburgh, and Vasily has a point there. I thought it was last touch by Michael Green, but the Rhinos won't get the call. Mendoza knocks it out of play. Throw coming up here for the Riverhounds. Pittsburgh will be home on the 4th of July against New York Red Bulls 2. Well, the Rhinos will be in Charleston on July 3rd to take on the always difficult Charleston Battery. Out of play, Mendoza can't keep it in bounds. 20th minute and scoreless at Salem Stadium. Oh, a good turn there by Michael Green. Gets it back just outside the 18. Vincent. Space for Flunder. One-time cross through the mix, and Obasi neatly flicks it onto the near flank for Mendoza. Long ball, chest pass there by Anthony Arena to Vincent. This one hops through the Rhinos defense. Miller there to settle it. The 25-year-old. Only 3 goals against this season. Rochester 5 goals against. That's number 1 in the USL, while Pittsburgh has put in 28 goals coming into tonight. With a very impressive number of 28 goals for. That is second most in the league, Colorado, with 31. Thrown on the far side for McMahon. Volesky's quick touch, intercepted, headed away. Arena gets his head on it. Earls continues the play forward. Here's Kerr, and McMahon steps in hard, but his clearance ends up coming towards his own goal, and Miller has to hurry. He's off his line. Hunt pushes it back to the top of the 18, where McMahon and the Rhinos calm and cool come away with Garzi. Earls gets a touch on it. Earls coming back to play his former side after serving the 1-game suspension for that deliberate handball against Charlotte on June the 13th. Rolfe, a thunderous challenge there against Okioma, gets the ball back. Rolfe's got Forbes wide open. Forbes one-time cross. Volesky's shot doesn't get it on frame, but the flag comes up anyways. Wouldn't have counted. In behind the defense, offsides. As the referee's assistant on the far side had that flag up, but Volesky, his second good look at goal, looking to get his 6th of the season. Good buildup in these terrible conditions. It was Rolfe who spots Forbes wide open on the far side after that good hard challenge right there that continued the attack for the Rhinos. There's Rolfe again, who sets the table on that far side. Good one-touch pass. And Volesky called for offsides. Back to the live action. Tony Walls called for the foul as gets the arm around the head of William Hunt. Be a restart coming up for the 5-4-4 Pittsburgh Riverhounds. And be sure to follow at USL on Twitter to become a league insider, join club conversations, and have a chance at exclusive giveaways. It's at USL on Twitter. Hunt is up and okay. The 27-year-old played with Atlanta for a couple of seasons, helped them win the NASL's spring season in 2013. Also was a substitute in the Cosmos victory over Atlanta in the NASL Soccer Bowl that season. As he has a throw-in now right in front of the Rhinos bench. 24th minute. Rain still steady. As Pittsburgh and Rochester looking for their first of the evening. Volesky's had 2 good looks. There's a throw-in to Volesky, and hammered away there by Okai, the 25-year-old. Former draft pick of the Philadelphia Union. Okai. Kerr through the legs of Obasi. Gets it back. Good hard tackle from Apostolopoulos as he comes in to support his outside defender. Apostolopoulos, member of the Greek under-19 and under-21 national teams, reads the game so well and steps in to make a great challenge. Push from behind, a free kick coming up for the Rhinos. It's Obasi trying to find a dry patch on the turf here at Salem Stadium. Finally does. This is a low-driven ball, middle of the field, Walls. Outside Forbes has to hustle to keep this one in play. Turn the Jets on, and he'll win a throw-in for the Rhinos. And Referee's going to say, I believe, illegal throw-in. And it'll be coming back the other way on a throw-in for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Pittsburgh completely changing the look of the team, bringing Mark Steffens in from Charlotte. Josh Reif, the former Rochester Lancers head coach, now an assistant. After a 9-14-5 season. Here's Forbes, driven ball, and diving at that post was Brown to just deflect it out of play. And for the Riverhounds, hats off to them. Mark Steffens been around the game forever. First-class gentleman. Josh Reif, great soccer mind, great man as well. The future of the Riverhounds looks bright. As Forbes gets the big options in the box. Apostolopoulos deflected, loose ball in front, and Brown able to put the left hand on it and deny the opportunity for the Rhinos. Apostolopoulos would have been his first points of the season. Rain picking up again, 26th minute. The wind dies down, the rain picks up, and it's just been alternating all evening. Obasi. Voleski, nope, headed away by Hunt. Mendoza. A little too heavy on the touch. Rolfe can't get on the end of it. And it'll be a throw-in coming up here for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Congratulations to Dan Metzger from the New York Red Bulls #2. He is the USL Player of the Week. Solid performance, leading the back line and helping out with that possession for the Red Bulls. Metzger, Player of the Week in the USL. Quick touch outside, knocked away by Flunder. Flicked on by Russell, no one there but McMahon. Flicked forward by Vincent. A deflected pass. And the Rhinos will have a throw on the far side. Rolfe, he's been scrapping, working hard. Looking for Forbes now on the far side. Flunder, little toe poke to knock it out of play. Rhinos will have a throw-in. We're in the 28th minute at halftime. We'll have the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Meli Walton, Darren Tilley, Chris Economides. This year's class of Hall of Famers for the Rochester Rhinos. Corner of the 18, Walls. Marked by Earls. Still Walls. Obasi. Just going to pull it. Comes back to his left. Marked by Green. He chipped it into space. Mendoza was coming towards him. And it'll be a goal kick coming up here for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Well, the initial 23-man rosters for the 2015 CONCACAF Gold Cup were announced, and there's 14 current and former USL players set to suit up for their countries next month. Congratulations to those members and former members of the USL who will be taking place in the Gold Cup. Throwing on the near side, it's Anawa Obasi, the 25-year-old, 2 assists on the season. Walls, good flick forward. Knocked away by Arena. Mendoza. Middle of the field, it's Vincent. Foul called, handball I believe called on McMahon as he trots back to his defensive position. And Vincent will have a restart. Vincent played in every single game last season, all 28 games for the Riverhounds. 3 goals, 1 assist for the midi from Liverpool, England. Miller off his line, then goes back. Good win there defensively by the Rhinos in the 30th minute. A long shot on the one hop, and Miller's got to just palm it out and over the end line, taking no chances there with a very slick ball and a very wet surface. First corner kick coming up here for the Riverhounds. It'll be from the far side. So we look at that last shot. The one hop really gave Miller some thoughts about playing it safe, and he does a good job there. As it'll be Vincent over to take the corner kick for Pittsburgh. Into the box. Clever little play there as it was just neatly touched. Vincent walked over like he was going to take the kick, but it was already in play, and he was able to push it forward. The referee coming over to have a word with his assistant on the near side before the throw-in will be taken. It's Green on it for Pittsburgh. Long throw into the box. Mendoza, a touch forward. Hunt gets there first. And he's just playing it one time quickly out of danger. And the Riverhounds will get this one back to the Rhinos on a throw-in. Green, triple teamed. Rolfe comes away with it. And they're going to call Green for the foul. Garzi will scoot it on back to Anawa Obasi. Obasi will push bodies forward and switch it to the far side for Van de Castile. 61 degrees right now in a steady downpour at Salem Stadium in Rochester. The Riverhounds just taking no chances, looking to get it deep downfield. And the Rhinos doing the same thing now with Miller. There's the deflection. Rolfe to Forbes. Chips in for Voleski, and a little bit too far off the mark for the 22-year-old who's got 5 goals and 1 assist. Christian Voleski, the 2015 MVP at the MLS Combine, was the 32nd overall pick, but never signed with the Portland Timbers. As Van de Castile knocks it out of play, throwing just inside of midfield for the Riverhounds. 33rd minute. And Pittsburgh delayed on the throw, and we've got 2 balls on the field. As we get this one back into play, McMahon heads it, but Earls will pick it up. This one's not going to reach Hunt. No, it does. Got through that puddle. Mendoza deflects the pass. McMahon will look to the near side. And just not going to have enough space to keep this one in play as the Riverhounds will have their throw-in. Pittsburgh's U.S. Open Cup run coming to an end against DC United, while the Rhinos falling out in a shootout against the Philadelphia Union. It was in PKs. Mendoza scored on his PK. Apostolopoulos, Walls, Voleski, all denied by their former teammate. Well, Walls played with McCarthy last season. Apostolopoulos and Voleski denied by the former Rhino keeper, John McCarthy. Here's Earls, very creative, very dangerous on the restarts. Good swerving ball into the mix, and Walls gets up great to win the header. It's back to Earls. Another ball into the mix. Cleared away by Van de Castile. Here's Kerr for Pittsburgh. Crosses into the box, through the 6, and onto the near side. Mendoza will clear it. And Garzi finishes the job. Looking for Hunt. Obasi uses that big frame to step in and win possession back, and a goal kick for the Rhinos. Nice job there by Anawa Obasi. We're in the 35th minute, second meeting of the season. Rhinos and the Riverhounds are scoreless. Miller with the goal kick. Gets the benefit of that strong wind at his back, and it's deep into the Pittsburgh half. Thrown here for Pittsburgh. Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike soccer information. Brown will have a restart here. Named the College Cup's most valuable defensive player in Virginia's 2014 NCAA run. There's Walls, Volesky, Forbes. Volesky, full stride onto the far side. Brown off his line. And he's going to shield off Volesky and has to be confident there. As if he loses that one, it's a wide open Pittsburgh goal. As it'll be a goal kick coming up for the Riverhounds, looking to weather this first half win that's directly in their face. Shots 8 for the Rhinos, 1 for the Riverhounds. Corner kicks 3 for Rochester, 1 for Pittsburgh through 37 minutes. This one will die at midfield. Picked up by Mendoza, the motor that never stops. Look at that hustle. They're going to call him for getting those arms up high. And it's Hunt who will have the restart. Johnny Mendoza, the 25-year-old coming over from Orlando City. 2 goals in 13 games played this season. Great presence on the flank for Bob Lilly's Rochester Rhinos. High ball into the box. Good punch away there by Miller. Earls puts it back, top of the 18. Obasi clears it away. Right down the middle of the field. Arena will head it up in the air. Volesky shielding, looking. Hunt goes down in a puddle, and it'll be Volesky who's getting a little frustrated here with the call going against him in the 38th minute. Riverhounds again taking their time, looking to get out of this half. Even at best. So it'll be Okioma to take it. A high one into the box. Miller, good save. Tough one to deal with. Very slick, high service. Knocked out of play by Flunder. And it'll be Canardo Forbes quickly throwing it into Garzi. Former captain at Colgate University, Mike Garzi. Rolfe, nice little layoff for Volesky. Forbes, he's been finding some space here in this first half. Walls. Back to McMahon. Little possession here from the Rhinos. Knocked away by the Riverhounds. They'll come back with Kerr. Kerr looking to get it forward. Finds Michael Green. Apostolopoulos and Obasi combined to slow him down. Back to Hunt. His cross flicked away by McMahon onto the foot of Forbes. He battles along with Danny Earls. McMahon gets it forward to Rolfe. Little space here in the middle of the field. Walls and Garzi have found a nice little gap to work out of. Here's Walls again. Nope, he won't get it back from Rolfe. McMahon. Arena taking no chances, sends it down the middle. Apostolopoulos doesn't get a full clearance on it. Kerr. Vincent off the chest. McMahon steps in and heads it back to his keeper. Good backtracking there by Pat McMahon. As the Rhinos will push bodies up, and Miller with possession in the 40th minute. Puts it down on the turf. Gets this one down the far side. Arena looking for Kerr. Apostolopoulos steps in, wins the loose ball. There's that space we talked about right in the middle of the field. Garzi and Walls have been given a lot of time here. Finally closed down just a little bit by the Riverhounds. But that gap has been there. Here's Obasi. Here's Walls. Garzi. Earls for Pittsburgh. Vincent's quick touch. Deflected by McMahon. Now back to Garzi. Arena. And Vincent. Tough to get any sort of possession going. In fairness to both sides, it's a miserable evening as far as the weather is concerned. Rhinos are trying to play some soccer here, but it's got to be in a very limited space because puddles have surrounded this near side especially. Stepped in by Apostolopoulos. And it'll be throwing coming up here for the Riverhounds. Vasily Apostolopoulos is George Kiriatsis Jr., now the assistant coach for the Rhinos. Similar style, steady, confident defenders. And there is a great look at Apostolopoulos. He's won every battle he's been in tonight. He's been excellent. Walls, good steal from Earls. Voleski. Earls comes crashing in on a hard challenge, wins it back. Into space, Kerr. Battles with Obasi, Kerr. The little chip, just punched away by Miller. Great save from Brandon Miller. He extended every possible inch, and he gets a piece of that one to keep this one scoreless. Well, the play developed from what we talked about, those long balls into space. Earls and Walls had a good hard battle in the middle of the field. Earls came back and won it, and then the long ball sent into space for Kerr, who got in behind Obasi, and the little chip, that was pegged for the side netting. Hats off to Miller. A great save. As after the service, Stephen Okai took a knock. Got to look at from the trainer. He'll be okay as he'll look to check back into the match. Second corner kick of the game. Served into the box. Obasi heads it down. Russell's one-time shot blocked by Garzi. Rolfe comes away with it. Flunder steps in there hard and knocks it out of play on the far side. Well, all those years that Miller was behind McCarthy and Christian Nisch, you wondered what he could do. This season alone, he has come up with some tremendous saves. Hats off to the guys in front. No doubt the back four has been awesome. But when he's been called upon, Brandon Miller has been superb. Forbes. Sent forward by Okioma. Headed away to Obasi, 44th minute. And scoreless. Voleski gets on the end of this one. One-on-one, Voleski gets it back to Obasi. Slick little drag behind with that one. Garzi looks. Gets away from him on the service and up and over the goal. And it'll be goal kick coming up here for Calais Brown. All USL regular season and playoff games are available live, free, and in HD on YouTube. Connect with the USL YouTube channel today. Minute number 45. Scoreless between Rochester and Pittsburgh. There's Forbes. Can't keep that one in play. Throwing coming up here for the Riverhounds. Pittsburgh giving up 23 goals so far in the season. As they'll have a throw in the far side. Looking for Green. Rain coming down once again, and the wind picking up at the same time. Okioma. Flicked forward by Vincent. Russell now. Serves one into the box. Apostolopoulos. Good hard clearance. We'll have 1 minute of stoppage time. Deflected by Rolfe and back into Callie Brown. Arena. Headed away on the far side looking for Russell. Russell trying to get around McMahon. And Vanda Castile, as a good defender does, comes in and great support to knock that one out of play. First half stoppage time, Rochester, Pittsburgh. They're at zeros. Maybe one more push here for Flunder and the Riverhounds on this throw-in. Pittsburgh's only visit to Rochester this regular season is Russell. Plays it out back. Vincent. And chipped into the box. On the one hop, Miller will scoop it up for the Rhinos as we are quickly approaching the end of half number one. And that'll do it. After 45 minutes of play, Rochester and Pittsburgh are scoreless on the Rhinos Broadcast Network.
With our score level at nil. Fans once again.
Second half action underway, and a little delay to my start of the half. I apologize as I was emceeing the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Congratulations to Darren Tilley, Malai Walton, and Chris Economides, true legends of the game here in Rochester, as this has really gotten worse since that 20-minute halftime break. The puddle is making its way in towards midfield. We'll see how much longer the referee decides to let this one go, as there is just puddles all over the field. The rain just continues to pour down. As it's played back, Arena. He says, I'll bypass all these puddles on the near side. And we'll go into space looking for Russell. And this one will roll out of play. A goal kick coming up for the Rhinos in the 47th minute. As I had to fly back up from the concourse level, let's see if there's any changes for the Rhinos to start. It looks like it is the same 11. And for the Riverhounds, glancing over their lineup, looks like they have the same 11 on the pitch as well. Wind picking up, rain getting even heavier as it's driven down into the face of Brandon Miller. Restart for Forbes. It's Walls. This one dies in a puddle. These are the kind of passes we've talked about. Going forward into the box, a skip and a hop, and down on the wet turf is Miller. He'll take his time, looking to get this one back into play, but again, that stiff wind is going to be a nuisance here in this second half. Appears to have picked up more than we saw in the first 45 minutes. McMahon, high ball into space, headed away by Arena. He's been steady and solid in the back for Pittsburgh. Walls, Earls and Walls battle for it. Gets it out to Mendoza. Far side for Rolfe, and Brown is quick to come off his line. Brown will put it down on the turf. Riverhounds home on the 4th of July against New York Red Bulls 2. The Rhinos in Charleston on July the 3rd to take on the Battery, who currently sit with a 6-2-6 record, 24 points. That's 5 behind the Rhinos, who again are looking to break that 14-game unbeaten streak. There's a throw-in coming up on the far side for Obasi. And we've had torrential downpours in games here at Salem Stadium, but they lasted an hour, maybe 45 minutes, and the drainage system was tremendous. Within minutes, the field was completely dry, but this has just been constant since 11 o'clock this morning. You just wonder how much this field can handle. And as McMahon and the Rhinos get it forward to Forbes. Canardo Forbes coming over from Syracuse out of the indoor game. Into the box, Rolfe is tripped up. The toe poke off the side netting. Fans may have wanted to call there, but referee not going to make it, as it'll be a goal kick coming up here for the Riverhounds. And here's a look at that last opportunity. Forbes delivers a good ball in. It gets in behind the defense. A good first touch. He's definitely hindered by Flunder, but he's able to still get the shot away. And it goes off the side netting. And they're going to call a foul against the Riverhounds. This one will be set up in the puddle. And a restart coming up for Van de Castile and the Rhinos. Low driven ball, Forbes. Rolfe. Far side, Hunt. Tumbles but still clears it away. Vincent gets the head on it. And tripped up is McMahon. No call made. It will be thrown for the Riverhounds, and Bob Lilly, along with George Kuriatsis, can't believe it. And you can hear the crowd, much to their dismay as well. Well, just got confirmation. Tea time canceled tomorrow, so no golf as well, as the rain will continue through probably midday tomorrow. And we'll see if this one continues, as the ball just dying in these puddles, especially on the near side. Here's Forbes. Trickles it out to the far side to Obasi. A high, long one. Voleski picks up the loose ball. Touches it outside to Mendoza, one-on-one against Hunt. Mendoza. Forbes, the Jamaican. Mendoza nudged down by Hunt, and a dangerous restart and a yellow card as well. First yellow card of the game being issued to Hunt, and this is coming up in the 52nd minute.
A yellow card caution has been issued to Pittsburgh's number 19, Willie Hunt.
That comes for his challenge against Mendoza, and well, the conditions have really affected the run of play. Restarts, corner kicks, whatever you want to call them, could be the deciding factor tonight. We're in the 53rd minute as Mendoza wins the call, and Tony Walls has delivered some beauties off these restarts. He'll stand over this one and take a look as Pittsburgh sets up their wall. Mendoza also sniffing around. He'll walk away. Forbes looks like he'll provide some cover. And it's Walls waiting for the whistle. Steps in. The shot off the wall. Forbes rebound blocked. They want a handball called, maybe two. And the flag comes up for offsides. That's all they're going to get.
Special thank you to Naira Trophies, located on Westridge Road, for producing tonight's Hall of Fame class. Naira Trophies has a complete line.
Objections, arms up in the air. The Rhinos felt there was one, maybe even two handballs off of that restart. Nonetheless, it'll be Brown to take it for Pittsburgh. Van de Castile. Off the hand of McMahon, and they will get the handball call now. Pittsburgh will have a restart on the near flank. As this one be coming back into play off the restart of the Englishman, Vincent. Forbes fronting the ball. Rain picking up. Vincent steps in, the swerving delivery, cleared away by Garzi. Onto the far side, Rolfe. It is a monsoon right now. Absolute downpour. This one headed away by Vincent. Forbes. Referee blowing the whistle, bringing this one to a halt as he's going to speak with the fourth official. We're in the 55th minute. Players objecting, but the referee, he's in charge, and he'll make the call whether it's a safe situation or not. But the rain, this is the heaviest we've seen since kickoff at 7:05. Jaime Herrera is the man in the middle, and he just has the interest of safety for both teams. As he had a little chat with the fourth official, and he'll let us play on. Forbes will kick it back into play and give Pittsburgh possession. 56th minute. This one getting close, as the referees have already discussed once whether the field is playable. Okai's chip on the far side, off the chest now of Rolfe. Garzi, Mendoza. Good solid win there, but Forbes and the Rhinos continue to attack. Mendoza open on the far side, doesn't get it. Now Forbes goes to Mendoza. Mendoza looks, can't get the cross away as the ball got stuck in the water. Vincent will knock it down the far side. Apostolopoulos will clear it out of play. Well, we've played more than half of the game, so this one could be called at this point if the referee feels the pitch is unplayable. Walls. Now Forbes. Yeah, it's just dying out there. There's a stretch maybe from the center circle down the middle of the field that's somewhat dry. The rest just puddles beginning to form all over the pitch. Vincent's clearance downfield on the far side, which appears to be a little bit better. As there's a player down for the Riverhounds on the far side. 8 other games tonight in the USL. Louisville hosting Oklahoma City. Charleston hosting Harrisburg. Toronto taking on Wilmington. Tulsa taking on the LA Galaxy. St. Louis at home against New York Red Bulls 2. Austin at their new home, the Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex, due to the flooding, now have moved to that complex, taking on Sacramento, Orange County, and Vancouver in Arizona, and Real Monarchs. Well, if you can look at the screen on YouTube, it is absolutely pouring right now. The wind picking up, it's coming down sideways. And the referee still letting this one go on in the 58th minute. Great look up at the stadium lights to give you an idea of how heavy this rain. You can even see it on your screen. The rain just pounding off the turf here at Salem Stadium. Pittsburgh is going to go to the bench and make their first substitution if we continue. It'll be Tyler Pasher, number 11, coming on, and he assumingly will replace Okai, who's slow to come off. And they're also going to bring on, there's Pasher now coming on. First change of the game in the 59th minute. Pasher is in. Okai is out. As he suffered an injury on that last challenge.
Pittsburgh Riverhounds entering the game is number 11, Tyler Pasher, replacing number 7, Stephen Okai. Substitution.
Walls leaves it for Mendoza. Long ball forward. This is unbelievable. I am actually surprised they're letting him play through this. Little ball on the hop. It's going to die in a puddle. Apostolopoulos, smart. Takes no chances, knocks it out of play. Throwing, given there to Forbes for Rochester. This one's huge puddle, splashing as Forbes goes down. Vincent sends a long one deep, and Miller's got to backtrack, as that one had a good look at goal. Vincent, why not in these conditions have a go from that kind of distance? Miller gets it up past midfield. Forbes gets the head on it. Vincent battles for it, working through the puddles. He goes down, and at midfield, the referee gets his hand out. The ball deflects off the head of Garzi. Quickly taken by Earls. You can get the sense that urgency starting to settle in here, because both teams sensing this one could be called early, looking for that one quick goal. Rolf goes down, gets it to Walls before he loses possession. Mendoza, Voleski, and Arena gets there first. McMahon gets it to Walls. Foul called on Voleski, or it's Rolf, I'm sorry. Another change coming up here for Pittsburgh. Be number 9, Miroslav Chabrilo. Now entering the game, the 23-year-old.
Entering the game is number
He is replacing Russell, number 17. 61st minute, Chabrilo on for Russell. Second change of the game for Mark Steffens and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Earls. Loose ball for Green. He'll take a shot. Miller diving to his left, just tips it away. And a corner kick coming up here for Pittsburgh. It'll be their third of the game on the far side. And Pittsburgh kind of sensing there is some space with those long shots. Vincent took one. And this time Green says from 25 yards away, I'll have a go as well. And Miller's not going to take any chances there. Earls, the crafty, talented left-footed player. In swinging service from the far side. Good delivery. Flicked on. What a save from Miller in midair. Gets his hands to it and then scoops up the rebound. Miller comes up big again. Great delivery from Earls. Good ball that's flicked on. But Miller makes the save.
Team ages U11 through 18, July 13th through the 21st. Visit rhinosoccer.com for tryout dates, times, and locations.
This is unbelievable. Puddles starting to form over 75% of the field, and in the 62nd minute, we will continue to play here. Earls. Van de Castile. The header goes off of Chabrilo, and it'll be goal kick coming up for the Rhinos. Miller to take it. In the 63rd minute, the second of 3 meetings this season between the Rhinos and the Riverhounds. Thrown on the far side for Hunt. Sent back the other way, a hop. And these are dangerous balls that are skipping into the box for both keepers. They're going to have to be extra careful not to give anything away here. Forbes. That ball is just stuck in that little pond there on this near side. Forbes can't get a clearance away. McMahon, his pass dies. Forbes comes in, pressured by Vincent. Forbes comes away with it, sends it forward. Wall's pass dies in the turf. Well, if you're looking for Copa America or who knows what, it's not going to be here tonight. There's just unplayable conditions this evening. as both teams fighting and doing their best to work through the torrential downpour. As Hunt steps in, knocks it off of Mendoza, and Garzi last to touch it. While we have a break, have you visited the new USLsoccer.com? Get the latest news and live stats and check out the new social media hub, USLsoccer.com. I want to thank our entire production crew tonight for sitting through this one. There's a long shot again, hitting and hoping on these deep ones into the Rhinos box. If you compare the two 18s, Miller has by far much more water covering the entire area. There is water in Brown's goal mouth, but Miller's box much more saturated. Obasi, is he onto something here? Still Obasi. Battles with Flunder, and Obasi's call for the foul. It'll be a restart coming out in the 65th minute. Rochester and Pittsburgh are scoreless. As it'll be Brown to get the restart going. Walls touches it forward. Flunder gets there first for Pittsburgh. He'll knock it forward. And it's just been back and forth. Both players missed the ball. It dies in the water. Flunder. Hit and go for it. Miller gets there first. The Rhinos will make two substitutions right now. It'll be Samuels and Dixon coming on. Miller, good job to get a foot on this one. Wow, into that stiff wind. This one's gonna stay in play. Forbes, he can play it. He'll serve a low one. Voleski, Mendoza. Looking for Forbes, it'll stay in play. Hits a puddle. Forbes keeps it in, marked by Flunder. Still Canardo Forbes. As Pasher coming back to help out defensively. Kostalopoulos whips it, but it doesn't go anywhere. It dies in a puddle. Michael Green's tripped up, no call made. Van de Castile wins it clean in the official's eyes. To the far side, Garzi. For Mendoza. Vincent off his chest with some space, middle of the field. Good slide from Walls. Gets it to Forbes. And he takes an elbow and gets shoved down into the turf by Vincent. And the Rhinos will have a free kick in the 67th minute. The monsoon of 2015 has arrived, and it should let up tomorrow around midday. Forbes will step into the restart in the 68th minute. Fouls, 14 for the Rhinos, 8 for Pittsburgh. Look for that number to continue to grow as the conditions creating havoc out there. Obasi. No one on the end of that one. Hunt will just knock it down the far side. Vincent. Mendoza steps in front to win it for the Rhinos. And Mendoza goes down. They'll say Vincent tugged on him, and it'll be a free kick coming up here for the Rhinos. A big gust of wind working its way through the stadium, the open end of the stadium, and it is just slamming through the field. Umbrellas tonight? I don't think so. Wind just making that difficult tonight. Good look from our producers, Dennis and Pedro and Dave and Lee, everybody keeping it cool as the header takes a one-hop into the arms of Calais Brown. 69th minute. Dixon and Samuels will be coming on. First two changes of the game for the Rhinos. April 4th, it was Dixon who got the second goal, the game-winning goal at Pittsburgh's Highmark Stadium. Here's Rolfe. Running hard into the 18, Rolfe. Goes down, challenge from Okioma. Headed down, Chabrillo. Earls tries to go to the near side, no one there. Forbes spins away. Still Forbes, Vincent hustles back to win it. Knocks it forward. One of the few drier patches, and knocked away by Valesky. And this should bring the substitutions on for Rochester. Alex Dixon coming on now in the 70th minute for Colin Rolfe. And Asani Samuels coming on for Johnny Mendoza. So Mendoza is off along with Rolfe. For Samuels, his fourth appearance of the season. There's a cross into the box right in the midsection of Miller. Dixon, 3 goals. Last goal in league play, though, was April the 26th against the New York Red Bulls, number 2. Chabrillo, McMahon battle for it. Miroslav Chabrillo still with it. Still with it in the 18. Goes outside, Pasher gets the chip at the near post. Miller's got to backpedal and make the save. Good hard work tonight from Rolfe and Mendoza. Arena knocks it down the other way. Too much pace on that one for Kerr. And it'll be Miller to put this one back into play in the 71st minute. For sponsoring and providing the Legends game jerseys. Dixon leaves it for Valesky. Good step there by Okioma. Breaks it up. Chabrillo lays it off. Pasher pushing through. Knocked off the ball. McMahon sends it forward for Valesky. Arena, a well-timed header, wins it. No one on the end of it for Pittsburgh. This one dies. Pittsburgh takes possession again. Kerr. Handball there. A deliberate handball, nonetheless. And it'll be Rhinos restart. Quickly taken to McMahon. Valesky, a little flick. Dixon. Dixon into the 18. He goes down looking for a call. Not going to get it. Brown will take this one. Put it down, drive it up. Chabrillo's header is sent back to Vincent. He'll pick up the ball. Fire a shot way outside as it's swerving away from goal and does roll out of play.
Prairie barley, fresh Canadian water. It's what gives Molson Canadian its crisp, clean taste. For a refreshing lager imported from Canada, pick up Molson Canadian.
So Mark Steffens and Josh Reif will be going to the bench once again for the Riverhounds. Ready. Miller goal kick coming up here for the Rhinos, who are 8-0-5. Looking to shatter that 14-game unbeaten streak. They're tied at 13 right now, looking to set the new mark on Hall of Fame night at Salem Stadium. Samuels. Earls comes in to help out, knocks it out of play on the far side. Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike soccer information. At Nike Soccer on Twitter. Vinny Dentas will be coming on, replacing Michael Green, 74th minute, time of the third substitution for the Riverhounds. And Vinny Dantas, for some of you indoor soccer fans here in Rochester, I'm sure you remember him. Played for the Baltimore Blast. Selected the MASL All-Rookie Team. As he'll take his spot up top. Also played for the Ottawa Fury last season in the NASL. Little flick on there by Samuels. Walls puts it back into the box. And knocked away by Arena. He has been good tonight. Steady, solid defensive play from Anthony Arena. Dantas. McMahon does a good job. Good shielding of the ball. Preventing the player from taking it away. Well done by McMahon. Asani Samuels. Walls. Hard-nosed customer Tony Walls gets stuck in there, and the throw-in coming up here for Asani Samuels, who missed part of the early season. He was finishing up his degree at Canisius College. The 22-year-old, 2014 All-MAC first-teamer with 8 goals and 3 assists. Goes outside to Canardo Forbes. Cuts it back. Still Forbes. He's got a rocket. If he can pull the trigger, he can create some trouble. This one's cleared away, though, by the Riverhounds. Chabrilo. Still Chabrilo. Miroslav Chabrilo outside. Looking for Kerr. Miller's off his line. Kerr finds it. Takes the shot into the empty net, and guess what? It dies in a puddle. Still in the 18. Shot blocked there by Garzi. Oh, the rain saving the day for Brandon Miller and the Rhinos. As we'll take a quick look at that last rush from Kevin Kerr. Chabrilo has been good since coming on. That's a nice diagonal ball down to the far side. Kerr gets the poke on it around the keeper. And Apostolopoulos may have been there to clear it away, but nonetheless, the puddle helps out as well. 76th minute and scoreless at Salem Stadium. Thrown on the far side. It's Hunt to take it. Gets it to the 18, flicked in there. Dantas. His cross at the post is taken out of the air by Brandon Miller. Miller takes a look around. Kerr trying to sneak in quietly behind him. Miller, good punt downfield. Zaleski flicks it forward. Arena gets it to Vincent. He'll go outside now to Kerr. Forbes comes away with it for Rochester. Obasi. Voleski. Forbes. Hunt slowing him down. Forbes back to Obasi. One of those rare pushes forward tonight for Obasi. The weather keeping him home. In the box, and the whistle blows. The referee points to the spot. Alex Dixon is taken down, pushed from behind in the 78th minute. The Rhinos have a PK. It's Voleski trying to clear some space there, as here's the ball into the box. And it's Arena, who has been solid all night long. He gets the whistle blown against him for taking down Alex Dixon. Tony Walls, the captain, will step up. Brown on his line. Walls waits for the whistle in the 78th minute. Winds, fires, goal! Tony Walls gives Rochester the 1-0 lead on the PK. And for the captain, that's his second of the season. Rochester 1, Pittsburgh 0. And here's a look at it. Walls, a short run up, gets the whistle, goes to the keeper's right. Brown goes down, no chance at all. And Tony Walls has given Rochester the 1-0 lead in the most difficult of weather conditions this evening. And it looks like there's going to be a coach who's being sent off. I believe it's Nikola Katic, one of the assistants, who had a few words with the fourth official. He points as if me. Josh Reif also pleading his case. And Nikola Katic, the gentleman who took over last season on an interim basis, has been sent off for his role in the arguing against the PK call. And it'll be Katic, and it looks like Steffens as well. Looks like Josh Reif is the lone coach on the sidelines for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Mark Steffens and Nikola Katic have been asked to leave the field. And this comes up in the 80th minute. So Josh Reif, no stranger to being a head coach, as he coached the Rochester Lancers indoors. He's now in charge here in the 80th minute, and his club trailing 1-0. And this one's getting a little sloppy and heated as there's shoving and pushing on the far side and players converging in there. The referee and his assistants trying to keep peace. And there's still shoving going on as Wall's being backed out of the circle. Earls, Miller in there as well. And again, it's been a very physical, tough game to play with this weather, as tempers are starting to flare, especially after the PK call. Looks like things starting to cool down just a little bit here. Haven't seen any cards issued yet, but referee reaching into his pocket. It appears to be a yellow card for Danny Earls. And not hard to spot if he's got that bandage on his wrist and if his hands are flying around. The referee may have seen something there, but Danny Earl's not that kind of player. As this one getting ugly here in the 82nd minute, Earls in the book. Ends up in a restart for the Rhinos. 8 minutes plus stoppage time away from setting a club record for 14 unbeaten games. Here's a look at that last challenge. It was Volescu came in, Earls came in, yeah, and that was a tackle that Forbes didn't like. Earls may have come in high with the studs, and that created some controversy. Dixon coming in, not taking too kindly to the challenge from Earls, and then the big circle talk took place as Miller and the Rhinos keeping possession in the 82nd minute. If you're just tuning in, Tony Walls with a PK in the 79th minute after Alex Dixon was dumped in the box. Volesky, still Volesky. Pasher slides in to win it back for Pittsburgh. Drives it forward. Sits on the wet puddle. McMahon sends it forward. Garzi heads it down. Here's Chabrillo. Little toe poke taken away by McMahon. He's tripped up. No call made. Throw in, though, for the Rhinos. As McMahon will have a throw in, not a free kick. Tempers starting to get up in the out-of-control mark. Vincent now screaming at the referee's assistant. Nikola Katic and Mark Steffens, they've been sent off after the PK goal by Walls. The Rhinos are going to make two substitutions. It'll be Tosh and Ringhoff coming on. Forbes will come off. Tosh will come on in the 84th minute. Volesky, who ran all night long, will come off. And Julian Ringhoff will come on. For Ringhoff, his 11th appearance of the season. For Tosh, his 9th appearance of the season. That's 4 changes for the Rhinos. So Volesky is off, along with Canardo Forbes, another Solid performance from Voleski and the Jamaican Canardo Forbes. 84th minute. The Rhinos with a slim 1-0 lead. McMahon into the box. Headed down and cleared away by Hunt. McMahon and the Rhinos keep coming forward. Tosh. Good spin move. And Pasher will pick up a throw in here for the Riverhounds. 85th minute, 12-7 shots in favor of the Rhinos. Loose ball played to the center circle. Dantas. Apostolopoulos way downfield as he's pushed up a little higher now. Ringhoff steps in. It's Van de Castile actually who knocks it into the far side stands. Throwing here for the Riverhounds, who away from home are 1-3-1. They've scored the second most goals in USL with 28. And the Rhinos' stingy defense has only given up 5. Miller will have a kickoff, or a free kick, I'm sorry. Still heavy rain, stiff wind coming down in the face of Brandon Miller. Flicked forward looking for Samuels. Hunt gets his head on it. Walls will pick it up. Looking to go to the far side, and Dixon couldn't keep that one in play. Throwing on the far side for Hunt and the Riverhounds. 86th minute. Rochester looking for their 5th win on home turf, but also looking to make history and get to the 14-game mark unbeaten. As Earls gets it forward, but it's taken away by Obasi. The slick surface, the puddles have really prevented those dangerous overlapping runs from Obasi, who uncharacteristically has had to stay home tonight on that left side of defense. Tosh just knocks it down the middle of the field, 87th minute. It's Arena. He was called for the foul. Sent into the 18. It gets around Van de Castile, but Miller there to back him up. Miller steps in. Flunder heads it down, but it'll die just before the near sideline. And the Riverhounds will have a throw-in. It'll be Flunder to take it. The 29-year-old's been with Pittsburgh since 2010. Van de Castile clears it up in the air, stays in play though. And a throw-in coming up here for the Riverhounds, 88th minute. Flunder. Long thrown into the box, flicked on. Deflected, and this will be a deep throw-in for Pittsburgh. Into the box, near post, and on one knee, Miller makes the save. He'll take his time, eat away at the clock.
Just to let you know, with the inclement weather this evening, the Union Greek on the field has been canceled for this evening. Unfortunately,
Far side, Chabrillo battling with Obasi. 89th minute, slim 1-0 Rhinos lead. Headed up in the air by Van de Castile. Walls, little touch forward. Asani Samuels. Still with it. Samuels, he's got some jets. Flunder, the veteran, uses his body, shielding off the young and exuberant Samuels. Loose ball, Garzi. Tosh. Still Tosh. And he'll just knock it down the near side, and it does go out of play, then come back onto the field. Arena forward, flicked on. Headed back, and Miller, slippery surface, a couple steps to his left. Has to get the rebound there. 90th minute. Rhinos with a 1-0 lead. Oh, it's Hall of Fame night, legends in the building, and the Rhinos of 2015 looking to make some history of their own. A tremendous start to the year for Bob Lilly's Rochester Rhinos, 8-0-5. 8 shutouts, the only undefeated team in USL. And just stoppage time away from getting to the 14-game mark and unbeaten. It'll set a record for the Rochester Rhinos franchise. As Obasi and the Rhinos will have a throw-in. We'll have 3 minutes of stoppage time. As the board now being held up. Apostolopoulos headed away by Hunt. Onto the near side, no one there. The Rhinos just looking to get that clock down to 0. Brown can't get it too far up. Pasher plays it all the way back to his keeper. A bad touch. Samuels is there. Last second clearance by the Riverhounds keeper. Here's Garzi. He'll eat away at the clock and pressure Flunder deep in the Pittsburgh half. Out of play, throwing coming up here for the home side. Rochester back home July 8th against FC Montreal. Not before they visit the tough Charleston Battery on July the 3rd. Always a good matchup when these two teams meet, whether it's a monsoon like this or perfect playing conditions. Always a great battle between Rochester and Pittsburgh, the longtime rivals. And Arena comes in with a little kick from behind and late against the Sonny Samuels. Samuels has come on. He's been a bit of a handful as we are midway through the 3 minutes of stoppage time. It'll be a restart just outside the 18 for Tony Walls and the Rhinos. He's got Garzi to his right if he wants to play it to him and just eat away at the clock. And nope. Walls will fake the pass to Garzi. And he'll just take some more time off the clock, chip into the box. Through the mix, Samuels couldn't get a piece of it. Hunt comes away with it. Maybe one last push here for the Riverhounds. A long ball forward. Dantas looking for Kerr. McMahon tracking back. This one stays in play. Here's Dantas. Knocked away by Ringhoff. Center circle. Hard tackle from Arena. Referee's going to call it. Studs were up. And card will be issued as well to Anthony Arena, and a red card will be issued to Hunt, I believe, as he was already shown a yellow card in the 52nd minute, and the wheels have fallen off for Pittsburgh, as William Hunt will also be sent off the field, apparently for dissent. The initial foul came against Anthony Arena for the challenge, showing the bottom of the cleat. He got the yellow card for that. And now William Hunt got his second yellow. And here's a look at that whole series of events. Heavy touch from Arena. He comes in. Yeah, that's clearly a foul. Bottom of the cleats exposed. He gets the yellow card. Little complaint there. He walks away, and then Hunt rifles the ball in the direction of the referee. He says, I'll get one, then I'll get two. And at that point, Hunt knows he is done. So last couple of seconds, Pittsburgh will play a man down. It's been a tough night. Steffens and Katic were sent off, and now Hunt. And that is a deserved yellow card, a second yellow card for Hunt. As this one, we put it back into play, and that should just about do it from Salem Stadium. So a 52nd minute yellow card for Hunt. Stoppage time, second yellow, and that sends him off for the evening. So he will not be available for the July 4th game against New York. Foul called on the far side. We are well over that 3-minute mark that was called for. These two teams get to do it on the second last game of the season, September 16th. Brown will have a restart inside his own half. Pittsburgh, no strangers to dramatic comebacks. As this low kick flicked forward, no one there. The Rhinos come away with it. Van de Castile. Dixon's on sides. And Wisely will slow it down. Keep possession here for the boys in white. And that'll do it. The Rhinos win 1-0. And in victory, the Rochester Rhinos have set a club record by going 14 games unbeaten, shattering the 13 games previously held on Hall of Fame night. Congratulations to Bob Lilly and the entire Rochester Rhinos organization. 8-0-6, and they make history.